Starting a YouTube channel can feel so overwhelming, but what if instead of focusing on the bigger picture, you just focused on the little things? You just focus on taking the steps one at a time. I have been trying to post consistently on my YouTube for so many months now. It just feels so overwhelming. Create great titles and thumbnails and create the scripts and tell the stories and tell the stories like this in this structure and speak to the camera with confidence and say it in this way and say it in that way. And it just gets so overwhelming. I know all the things, but then when it comes to actually implement it, make sure you get it all in order and you do it in the right way. And it's just so overwhelming. But when I started to really think about the ultimate purpose and my future audience who are actually going to be seeing my videos, these little details really don't matter in the beginning. What matters most importantly is that I become the person who can show up consistently for my audience. And I thought about how your first videos aren't going to get any views. So what am I even worried about? Right now, I'm becoming the person who can show up consistently and confidently, and nobody's gonna see it. And when you really start to think about that and you start to think, well, what does it take to become consistent, to become the person who can teach the thing and do the thing? What does that actually look like in the beginning? I really started to think, wow, like this is not, all of the little details are not going to matter. What most matters in the beginning is the little steps that I have to take personally for myself to show up consistently for my audience. And why I'm choosing YouTube over a short form content platform is I've been posting on Instagram for the last year and a half or so, and the idea of short form content is just, it feels so overwhelming and chaotic with trying to keep up with the trends and post every single day. And there's just so many different aspects that play into it. And then once you post that content, after a couple of days, it's kind of non-existent anymore. It'll show up if you have a piece of content that goes viral, and then you have a whole bunch of people that are going back to your previous reels and binge watching your content from before. But the chances of somebody just stumbling on your old piece of content is not very likely. And what I was finding also is that I keep finding myself back on YouTube to learn about Instagram or anything, mindset, whatever it is. I'm always back on YouTube to actually learn whatever it is I want to learn about. So when you think about that, it's like, why am I even posting on Instagram instead of on YouTube? Aside from the fact that you can actually monetize your YouTube and get paid for just posting content on YouTube, more than any other platform anyway. So the biggest things that I love about YouTube is the longevity and the searchability, and these kind of play into each other. When you post a reel, the chances of somebody stumbling upon it, they have to be scrolling through and the algorithm has to feed it to them, and they're just seeing it by chance. Whereas on YouTube, more than likely somebody has searched the topic of your video, like how to start a YouTube channel. And if that person wants to learn that, if you put the work into doing the market research into like what is your audience searching right now, then you can play into that searchability and make your content a lot more searchable. And that can happen whether it's tomorrow, the day after you post it, or a year down the road, or even 5 years down the road. So that content is going to be there anytime that the algorithm wants to feed it to them, whether it's now or later on in the future. So I love the longevity of YouTube plus the searchability. The other thing that is really big is when people spend more time with you, they tend to trust you a lot more, and they're getting to know you, and it's not going to be very long before they've watched your content and they want you to be their teacher. So the more content of yours that they are watching, the more likely they're going to want to buy your product or your service or your coaching or whatever it is. They're going to want to go to you to learn the thing as opposed to somebody else who they haven't spent as much time with. And therefore, that is how you make YouTube the foundation of your business, because you're building trust. So for me, starting from the beginning and looking and taking little steps at a time is recognizing that, sure, I don't have the perfect setup. I don't have the perfect camera. I don't have the microphone that I want. I don't have the things that I want in order to make the best videos, but I do have an iPhone and I do have a blank wall. There are things that I do have that I can just get started with right now. I also have a very chaotic schedule between my work schedule and 4 kids and just everything going on. It's very chaotic, but I did sit down and take some time to set out my goals, which is to post 3 videos a week. And I just looked at my entire schedule for the week and I thought, well, when can I do this? I have a chunk of time where I can record all of my videos. I can get ready and do my hair beautifully. I'm just kidding. But I have the time where I can make a few videos, even if they're very short videos in the beginning, because this is about consistency, creating consistency in the beginning, and that's more important than all of the details. So the idea of batch content creation, yes, batching your content, whatever the words are, that is becoming one of the biggest hacks. Is that the right word? I don't like using that word. Batch creating, I'm finding, is so important and an easy way to create little steps that become more accomplishable for later. So I sat down and I looked at my schedule and I found a day where I can come up with ideas and kind of start thinking about what videos I'm going to create for next week. And I found a day where I can sit down and actually record the videos where I can get a shower done and I won't have any interruptions and I can do multiple videos at once. And that has really taken some time, but if I start splitting it up into different areas of the content creation on different days, that has made things a lot easier to accomplish the little things at a time, focus on one thing at a time, and it doesn't feel so overwhelming and chaotic, and it's just making that step so much easier. I'm also learning how to write out outlines and not ramble. And this is a process, and just being okay with that is making the videos a lot easier too. The most important thing out of all of this is learning consistency for myself. Not so much on the little details, but learning what that looks like for me to create consistency. And that is the most important thing over anything else in the beginning, because that's what I need to do to create the evidence in my own mind that I can do this. And it provides the evidence for those who are going to be looking on my page in the future and see that I am posting consistently, which is also another way of building trust for the foundation of your business. And mindset is so important when you go in to start posting on YouTube. I feel like it's a really common limiting belief to kind of view YouTubers as influencers and not as a real job, or however it is that you think of YouTubers, or you've heard people talk about YouTubers, or any kind of mindset around that it makes it really hard to take YouTube seriously. But when you start to really think of YouTube as the foundation of your business, it can start to change your whole attitude around what it is that you're actually doing. Because if nobody knows about your business, nobody's going to buy from your business. If nobody trusts you that you can actually provide them whatever solution they're looking for, they're not going to buy from you. And so YouTube can absolutely be the foundation of your business, whatever it is that you're selling, whether it's a product or a service. It is such an amazing platform for you to use to build your business. So these are the things that I'm doing to build my business. And if you want to start a YouTube channel for whatever it is, whether you want to also teach people how to start their own YouTube channel, or you want to start a YouTube channel for whatever your business is, and follow along with my journey, and we can do this together. And I will link my community below as well, so you can come join my community. We can go in there and encourage each other and build each other up and learn from each other, and I'm excited to see you there.